What's the difference between me and you? Are you singing the Dr. Dre song in your head already? I know. But today's episode, I want to just pour into you on the topic of focusing in on building your independent grant business. Too often with my clients, I'm hearing, oh my gosh, I want to be in that same space. I can't believe you're a full-time entrepreneur. I want to do what you are doing with motherhood and marriage and school and your business. How? There is no difference between me and you, and that's what I want to show you today. Let's go ahead and just jump right into this episode. I'm super excited to get started. Welcome to Nothing for Granted, a space for aspiring grant writers who are tired of feeling undervalued, underpaid, and overworked by your understaffed nonprofit. Hi, my name is Eliana, grant writer, grants consultant, and freelance coach for Christian entrepreneurs. I live for long-distance cycling rides, iced chai lattes, and outdoor adventures with my 4 little beasts. I teach you grant writing strategies and freelance tactics that set you apart when launching and scaling your Holy Spirit-led business. I too was paralyzed by those questions. So paralyzed, in fact, that I launched my business twice, thinking maybe I should take another training because, underqualification. Well, 5 certifications on my wall later. But what if I told you that with a little basic knowledge and next to no experience, you too could launch a successful and sustainable freelance grant consulting business while pursuing that degree, raising littles, and maybe getting a tan on the beach? Permission granted to stop feeling guilty over leaving behind that organization that has you stagnant and to confidently and boldly step into the most elevated version of who you were created to be. You're here for encouragement, accountability, and a slight tough love kick in the butt. No goals, just standards. Lace up your combat boots, tighten up that ponytail. Girl, it's time to get to work. So, if you haven't already, be sure to check out bit.ly/grant writing business blueprint. This is your A to Z course on everything you need to know about the business world. If you are thinking and mulling over and just anxious about leaving your 9-to-5 grant writing job and starting something of your own, starting your own business that will give you the flexibility to work the hours that you want to work, to do the tasks that you actually love to do, to work with organizations whose missions you truly align with, then this is the course for you. It takes you all the way through from what you need in order to get started, what paperwork you're going to need. I give you verbiage for iffy situations. You have a Facebook community page where you have direct access to me to ask any questions you might have, to post your homework because I'm going to be holding you accountable. You have a workbook that you have to actually follow through with, implement the things that you are learning. It's a 7-week course that is just going to give you the confidence that you need to start your own grant writing, grants consulting business. Again, that website is bit.ly/grant writing business blueprint. If you have any questions about the course, guys, do not hesitate to send me an email at hello@buffaloambitionco. I would love to answer your questions and really help you to the best of my capacity. This is why I created the course, and I know it's just going to absolutely transform your mindset, your business, and your future. So like I mentioned at the beginning of this episode, too often in my freelance consultations, I am hearing, I want to do what you do. I want to be able to raise my family, or maybe I haven't even started my family, but when thinking of raising a family, I want to dictate where my hours are going, where my money's coming from. I want to dictate how long I'm at work, where I'm working from. I don't want to have to ask for permission to take vacations or time off if my kid is sick. I don't want to have to make excuses. I want to have full control over my career and my life. And what I want to tell you is there is no difference between where I am sitting and where you are sitting. You have everything inside of you to make this leap, to get to that point that keeps you up at night and that dream that you know is a reality, and all you have to do is just take the first step of action. So today I want to share with you, how do you focus in? How do you start actually building your business when you don't know anything about business? Well, number one, I want to encourage you to just start. One of the most famous slogans out there is just do it. If you don't know whose slogan that is, come on, are you living under a rock? It's Nike. Let's go, people, right? Just do it. Just start. Start scared. Start where you are. Start with the limited hours that you have and the limited resources. This is a business where you can start scrappy. Guys, I've done an entire episode, which I will link in the show notes, all about how to start this business with very minimal financial resources. All you need to actually do is just go. God is telling you, go. I will back you up. But you have to take that step of action. Start scared and just go for it. You don't need a fancy website. You don't need a fancy logo. You don't even need to be incorporated, have your LLC in place. You can start where you're at and build those things as you go. Don't let perfectionism get in your way. It's so important for you to just get into the groove of things, right? To find your verbiage with clients, to get to know your clients, right? If you want to step out of that zone of, well, I'm always volunteering with my friends, or I'm always volunteering and working pro bono with other organizations, into a space of, well, I'm making a living out of my skills and out of my passion, then you actually have to take those steps, right? You have to do a little bit of market research, and we're kind of going into step 2, which would be determine who do you want to serve, right? And how do you do this? You start by niching down. You start by thinking about what really lights me up. What are the causes that I'm super passionate about, can talk about for days, things that your friends and your family know about because you're nonstop talking about them. So in my case, it's human trafficking. I don't care who I'm talking to. It can be in the supermarket, and human trafficking will always snake its way into a conversation because I'm just super passionate about educating people on the dangers that are real in our community. There's so often we think that these are only things that happen in third world countries, in countries far, far away, and that is a total lie. It is happening literally in our backyards, and here I'm going on a tangent. You see what I mean? Do you see what I mean, guys? So when you're niching down, think about what are causes that light you up, that spark that fire in you, because that is probably something that you can write about with the utmost passion and really make that cause justice, right? In terms of the work the organization is doing. So you determine who do you want to serve, right? What causes do you care about? You determine who are your dream clients. I have an entire series on who your dream clients are. And if you guys stick around, next week I do have a guest speaker who is going to be talking about niching down as well. And so if you guys need more information on that, I will again link that episode in the show notes down below. But to give you a quick run through, it is just really thinking about, okay, what dynamic do I want my clients and I to have? Okay, what are their values? What are they about? What is their mindset? You attract that same energy. And so it's important for you to know who is it that you actually want to work with. All right, so determine who do you want to serve, what niche you really want to focus on. I like to say focus on three areas. That seems to be my comfort zone, is three different causes, and it just ensures that I have like no conflict of interest. It ensures that I have a little versatility because I am multi-passionate, and so I just like to make sure that I know exactly who I'm serving, exactly what my areas of genius are, what I'm super knowledgeable about, and really would consider myself an expert in, and that's how I determine my niches. So end rant, I'll link that down below so you guys can take a listen. And then number 3 is, what service can you offer that you are an actual expert in that solves a client's problem? Super important here. It's not just about what do you know how to do, but whose problem can you solve? Like, can you actually solve your client's problem? And so for me, I am an expert at research. Even before being a grant writer, research has been at the core of all of my other jobs. And so I'm a grants researcher, I'm a grant writer. I like to set organizations up for success. So I do a lot of strategy work with newer organizations that are trying to get, quote, what I like to call grant ready. That is what I specialize in. So think about, what do you specialize in? Is that program management? Is it grants management? Right? Is it creating fiscal partnerships and really determining and identifying who would be a good partner for these organizations? That is a service within itself. So really think about, what service can you offer that would solve your client's problems? But in order for you to know what problems your clients have, what are those pain points, you would have to go back to number 2 and determine who it is that you want to serve. Okay. And again, going back to your niche and your dream client, when you go through those exercises, and of course, if you go through my course, you go through that entire process in depth, and you'll have my eyes all over it. That way, if you need any additional assistance, either with the market research or just really identifying what are the problems of your clients, how do I find this, et cetera, the course goes through that as well. But I will link the free podcast down below. And of course, if you have any additional questions, like I mentioned at the beginning, you can email me, or you can join the community at bit.ly/freelance grant writing, where you can post your questions on there. So those are my 3 tips, and I just want to recap that. Number 1, it's to just start. Number 2, it's to determine who do you serve. And number 3, it's what service can you offer that you're an expert in that solves your client's problems. I want you to notice how I did not talk about today anything technical, because all of the technical stuff, like I said, will come with time. If you have a laptop, if you have internet, and you have access to Google Drive, guys, you have everything you need to get started, okay? Build yourself out an email. And you can even use your personal email at first if that's what you're comfortable in. But the point is to just start. If you get caught up in all of the other things, all of the things that are the content creation and the website building and your branding and marketing, all of those things are just excuses that you are using to hold yourself back. And so I just want to encourage you today that if you focus on those 3 things, if you just hit the ground running, I promise you that the pieces will come together little by little. I did not get here overnight. I got here through a lot of intentional work and prioritizing the right things at the right moments. It took strategy, it took discernment, to be quite honest, and it took just at sometimes stepping back and saying, hold on, is this really what's important right now? And the answer most often was, well, if I'm serving my client, if I'm fixing their problem, if I am focused on just being the best customer service personnel, right? The best service provider that I can be for my clients, that's what matters. And most importantly, I want to just stress this because I feel it in my heart, and I really think that you guys need to hear this. The number 1 reason why you need to start is because you are the vessel that God is going to use to reach audiences worldwide. Guys, if God has put this on your heart, it is for a reason. It is not just because of the financial freedom. It is not just because of the freedom of being able to wake up at 3:00 in the afternoon if that's the way that you choose to run your business. The most important reason why you need to start is because you are that vessel. God wants to use you, but you have to say yes. Visionary, I hope that this blessed you. I hope that this pierced right through your heart because I feel it so strongly today for you. And if you want to keep the conversation going, guys, I am here for you at so many capacities. You can email me, you can join the Facebook group, and I just hope you have an amazing weekend. I will catch you right back here at the Nothing for Granted podcast next Wednesday. Be blessed. Before you go, don't forget to rate, review, and share this podcast with a friend that needs to hear it. See you in next week's episode.